Hello friends, it's Scott from Flat River Keto. If you're new to my channel, welcome. On my channel, you get to come along for the ride on my keto journey. Check in with you once a week to update you on my keto progress. And I try to check in with you at least one other time during the week. Usually to share something that I've discovered about the ketogenic lifestyle, but occasionally to share a little something that I've discovered about this journey that we call life. Now today is actually Sunday, which means that we are a day late on our weekly update. And for those of you who follow along my short videos, you will know it has been a really rough week for me. And it's been a frustrating week. I have not been on track like I'd like to be. And it's just been, it's been tough. Struggle bus. I've been on the struggle bus, but I've decided I'm going to get off the struggle bus and we're going to get back to it. But I wanted to share with you kind of what's gone on with me this week. I've thought a little bit about what's gone on, share some feelings about that, let you know how things are going in relationship to my goals. And before I go any further though, I do want to share something with you. I did have one big goal for this year. Those of you who follow me on Instagram, you could actually see my handwritten goals. One of those was to start my t-shirt business and have my first sale by September 1st. And I think we actually sold our first t-shirt yesterday. So I would be remiss if I did not plug our brand new t-shirt business, my wife and I. We have a Facebook page, Husker Ping, P-I-N-G. Ping is my wife's last name, Pingree, and Husker, of course, you know, I'm from Nebraska. So this is one of my favorite shirts. This is Batman Never Skips Leg Day. We have this and several other designs. You can go check that out if you want to. I will not plug that every time on my channel, but if you ever see me wearing a fun t-shirt on my channel or in any of the photos that I share with you guys, you will know that we created that. And so we decided that we were going to give it a go to have a t-shirt business. So again, I will not plug that all the time, but that is something that's brand new for my wife and I. And it's actually, boom, I can check off one of my goals. So as frustrating and as disappointing of a week as it has been, that is one thing that we actually got done ahead of schedule. So hooray for that. But to check in with you as far as my health journey on an update, I actually did not check my relationship with Earth's gravity yesterday. You guys know that I have a goal to be 275 by December 31st. I was at 330.0 last week. I actually don't know what I am this week. I didn't check in my relationship with Earth's gravity yesterday. I was feeling very, very down yesterday. I'm doing better today, but it's been a really rough week. I started the week off, don't know what happened, but I either ate something or picked up something, and just start feeling very sick to my stomach last Sunday evening, and that went all the way through Monday. Felt just terrible. And, you know, spent the first half of the week kind of recovering from that, but that kind of kicked off just a very rough week for me from a nutrition perspective. A couple of different times, I want to say 2 or 3 different times during the week, I indulged in some food that I shouldn't have, like, ate some, snack food kind of things. I ate some famous Amos cookies out of the break room at work. There was some frozen cookie dough in our freezer here at the house, and I had some of that. I mean, just things that I don't normally do and were very out of character for me, and just was off all week. I mentioned to you guys last week that I was struggling a little bit to get back on schedule as far as my sleep goes. I struggled with that all week, obviously feeling like crud on Sunday. I didn't sleep very good at all Sunday night because my stomach was just in knots all night. And into Monday morning. I actually stayed home from work on Monday and was just pretty miserable. But partially because of that, I didn't really get back on track from a sleep perspective, which meant that I slept in a couple of days this week. And it was just a mess. Nutrition was not good. Sleep was not good, and so exercise was not good. So the nutrition goals that I have to eat the 2 healthy meals, did that a couple of days this week, 3 days probably out of the 7, but not successful at all with that. Keto, avoiding the keto snacks and treats, I did not do that. Obviously I ate some junk that wasn't even keto. And staying away from nuts, seeds, etc. I did okay with that, actually, because those were not the things I ended up indulging in. But so a pretty lousy week from a nutrition perspective. Rucking 40-pound in the backpack. I had done that this week. The days that I did go rucking, I think I rucked 4 out of the 7 days this week, including this morning. But it's a very rough, unsuccessful week. DDPY custom program, I think, again, I was 4 out of 7 days doing my DDPY this week. And the push-ups and squats challenge, I did 2 days of that. And that kind of went to the wayside, mostly because I wasn't doing much of anything else. So adding something new Wasn't that I couldn't do it. I just wasn't motivated to do it. So yeah, sorry to be such a downer, guys, but it was kind of a rough week. Um, the other goals that I had related to my overall well-being was getting up at 6 a.m. That didn't happen very much this week at all. And then getting to bed, sleeping by 10 o'clock also did not happen. Everything was just pretty much off this week. So that's a quick rundown of how successful I was not this week. Reasons for that, not that those necessarily matter all that much, but there were some reasons probably for that. First thing, as my wife pointed out, I didn't even really think much about this, but we came back from vacation, and she was on her last week before she goes back to school. I actually helped Liz yesterday, Saturday, so yesterday, setting up her classroom, because she actually goes back her first day back in class, not with students, but back to get prepared for the school year is this coming Thursday. And so but she was in her last free week, I guess, and she mentioned that she and the kids are not really doing much in the way of routine, and so that probably didn't help things. Of course, my being under the weather at the beginning of the week, that's very difficult for me because I get frustrated when that happens. It throws off my routine, and then I'm frustrated with myself because I'm not in my routine. I'm obviously because I'm feeling under the weather, I don't have as much energy, I don't have as much strength, and I struggle with kind of when to get back into the routine, how much time to give myself. And anyway, that just kind of feeds on itself, and that, of course, was led to a very unsuccessful week. The other thing I think that kind of came into play, and this was funny, I was talking with Liz about this morning, but I am a recovering perfectionist. And as long as I can remember, I've just wanted to be perfect. That's all. And since that's been a real struggle for me, and so I think one of the things that kind of happened is even though it was me setting the expectations and setting the goals and putting the pressure on myself, oftentimes that can be the biggest critic that we have is ourselves, and the person who can put more pressure on us than anybody else in the whole world is ourselves. And I think that's what happened with me this week to some extent. I put a lot of pressure on myself. I put some very aggressive goals through the end of the year. Obviously, 275 by December 31st is pretty aggressive. It's 55 pounds by the end of the year, which is like 2.5 pounds a week, and probably a little more than that now because I have no doubt that I gave back a couple of pounds this past week. But the other thing is that I have been struggling professionally. I mentioned, I believe, briefly to you guys as I mentioned my goals for the end of the year. One of them is to get an accreditation, becoming an enrolled agent as an accountant, and there's a part of me that's been very comfortable not having that, being just a staff accountant, and not having additional responsibilities at work. And anyway, long story short, I think I've just been comfortable with where I'm at. And it's one of the reasons that I've been working on getting this accreditation for like a year and a half, is because I've been kind of dragging my feet with it. And I think that mentioning it to you, putting it out there, it kind of played on the mental side of things for me. And I think I was subconsciously almost kind of pushing against that because I'm a little bit nervous about taking that step and moving my career forward and moving forward in my life. And I don't know about you guys, but what you're used to doing, what I'm used to doing for me is comfortable and it's easy. And there are times where I struggle to break out of how things have always been. Whether that is my relationship with Earth's gravity, obviously my goal to get down to 275 is a big deal for me. Or that might be, like I said, where I'm at professionally, trying to get this accreditation. And so because of that, I think that kind of led to a really rough week for me. Now, I've been traveling on the struggle bus, but I am not stuck there forever, and I am choosing to get off. So I am going to really push and work on getting back to basics this week. Obviously, I still have those goals. I'm going to try to share those kind of with you guys, probably not every week, but I need to focus on what I'm doing from day to day. And that's getting up at 6 in the morning, getting to bed by 10 p.m., having my 2 keto meals being planned out and prepared with that, and then getting my exercise in every day. Now, I will tell you guys it's going to be an interesting week for me because I am here at home tomorrow, but then on Tuesday I fly out I drive to Omaha and then fly to Omaha to Nashville, and I will be in Nashville on From Tuesday evening, I'll be there all day Wednesday, all day Thursday, and then I fly home on Friday. I have a work conference that's going to be in Nashville, so I am not going to be at home this week. I think it's extra important for me to do what I can to keep my routine as much as I possibly can. Now, am I going to be wrecking with my dogs? Obviously, my dogs are not going with me to Nashville, so no, I will not be, but I will be getting a walk-in of some kind. I may end up having to do that at the hotel gym on the elliptical machine of a treadmill, but I am going to do that this week. And I think, knock on wood, I think that I'm going to be able to fit my yoga mat in my suitcase. Even if I can't, I can still do my yoga. I can do my yoga on the ground. I can do my yoga in the grass. So I can definitely still do that. And I'm planning on doing that. But it's going to be a challenging week for me to get myself back on track. But I will tell you guys that as much as this week has been very frustrating and very difficult for me, and that I've struggled, there was a desire, as you notice, I did not share this update with you yesterday. I really didn't want to share this with you because sometimes in my life I feel like there are things that are kind of somewhat outside of my control that might cause me to not be as successful. I didn't feel that as much this week, although obviously being sick is not really in my control. But I felt like a big fat failure, and I didn't want to share it with you. So I really dragged my feet on even sharing this update, but I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that I've sharing with you my whole journey and even the bumps in the road, as there have been many over these last 3 years. But you know, I one of the other thing that I wanted to share with you is that when we're struggling in our lives, when I'm struggling in my life, one of the best things that I can do for myself is to get outside of myself and share with other people, whether that be sharing an update with you or sharing my talents with other people, which is what I did today. You can actually look if you want to on my Instagram or on my Facebook page, and you can see that I have the opportunity in my church to do one of the funnest things that you can possibly do, which is I play the piano for our primary kids, which is kids ages 3 to 11. And I got to do that today at church, and that really fills me up. It is so fun to have the opportunity to interact with kids. And today you can see a picture of me if you want to. Maybe I'll even make that the thumbnail of today's video. I don't know. We'll see if I can pull that off. But the kids, for singing well, they got little stickers, and they were music measles, and they got the opportunity to put those on me and on the lady who led the kids in singing. And there's a picture of me with colored stickers all over my face and on my clothes, and it just warmed my heart. And you know, as much as I've struggled this week, it is stuff like that that I think can really help us get out of the funk that we can get ourselves into. At least that's what happens for me. That really helped me to get out of the funk that I've been in. Talking about it with my wife also helps. Sharing my experience and how this week has been with you helps me too. But getting out there and serving other people, sharing the talent that I have on the piano, and getting the opportunity to have fun with a bunch of kids, it just doesn't get much better than that. So I'm thankful for that. It's been a lousy week, but I am getting off the struggle bus, and we're going to get back on track. I appreciate you guys being along on this journey with me, as always. And, you know, you help hold me accountable. You don't even know it, but you do. And even though this week has been an absolute train wreck, this coming week is going to be great. And I still have the opportunity to reach the big goals that I've set for myself by focusing on what I need to do today. And I know that I can do that. And I appreciate your support, being a part of my journey day by day. Keep calm and keto on, my friends. We'll check in with you again soon.